Randy, we've got a great show going today.
I'm anxious to learn more about your guest. Please introduce them.
Man, we've got some great guests today.
Love it.
Today I've got Ashley Medford and Blake Good with me. So we're going to have an exciting conversation about the cannabis plant and the healthy benefits of what the plant does for you, and we'll go over healthy benefits and sort of the history, what the local history is of the cannabis plant, and then we'll get into what we've discovered here. Ashley and Blake have found some really almost miracle type situations with CBDs, CBGs, CBNs, and all kinds of different cannabinoids.
Okay, you've already got my interest up here.
No, it's really good stuff. Yeah, so with no further ado, Ashley, how you doing today? Welcome.
I'm doing great. Glad to be here today to talk about the cannabis and the hemp and what we do. I've been doing it over 40 years, so I've been the oldest guy here in North Carolina, and been dealing with cancer patients that long, and patients in itself.
Well, good. And Blake, introduce yourself a little bit.
Yes, good morning, Patrick, and everybody out there listening. I'm Blake Good. I've been an artist and an energy healer. I've worked with meditation and personal development through meditation and energy healing for most of my life, as well as being a visual artist, a painter. And somehow Ashley and I have come together to do some very interesting work over the last couple of years.
Oh, good. Well, that's a great experience. I look forward today to learning more. You know, I'm always interested to find out about the plant, you know, since the legalization of hemp. And, you know, you hear about it, you see the CBD signs everywhere. I'm just not that familiar, so I'm so happy to have you guys in here today to explain a little bit more to our audience, and maybe we can figure a way to help somebody out there.
Definitely.
Well, Ashley, you want to go into a little bit about the history of the cannabis plant and sort of
I'll tell you a little bit about where I came from and what I started with, and how I got to using the cannabis to heal. You know, I mean, I was the youngest patient they'd found for hepatitis C, so they used me for a guinea pig back when I was 23. I was, at the same time, I was just getting into taking care of cancer patients on the smoking side of the cannabis plant, finding out that there were certain plants that would help eat, help sleep, help your stomach, help you ease pain. I just have been in a passion for over 40 years doing this. And it wasn't just about anything about money, it was about healing people and trying to figure out that the plant had something that nobody else was looking at. I've had 49 surgeries. I shouldn't even be walking. It's been a miracle for me on the things that I've learned about the plant. I came here to North Carolina 3 years ago, and CBD was things that I've grown a few plants and whatnot of the CBD, but I've grown over 3,000 varieties of plants in my life. So it's a passion for me, let alone a thing that I know that there's a plant out there that will heal people no different than all the plants that are in the Smoky Mountains that we use to heal right now.
Interesting. So it's interesting you mentioned the Smoky Mountains in western North Carolina. I was kind of interested to hear about some of the history. I think I had heard you talk about the Indians, the Cherokee Indians.
Yeah, my grandma was Cherokee, so I have Cherokee in me. I started, what got me on this picture of getting away from smoking it is I went and seen an Indian medicine lady. Okay, and she looked at me and she says, "You're not supposed to smoke this stuff. You're supposed to, you know, ingest it." And I'm looking at her and I go, "Ingest it? You know, I've been smoking it for 40 years.
Okay, right.
What the heck's she talking about?" So I come back and, you know, kind of thought about it for a while and went, wow. You know, there is a different way, which is making a tincture out of it and using the old ancient way that the Cherokee did it, which is a cold process. And I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I have studied the plants itself, many plants, multiple plants. So I mean, mine is different from everybody else's because I've used multiple plants to do what I do. Nobody else is looking at it from that point of view. So it's really exciting to see the things from my point of view of having 49 surgeries and not supposed to walk twice in my life. 014, I was given a piece of paper and never work again. Well, that was no.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
I can attest to the effectiveness of cannabis and how it's helped Ashley, because this guy, some people with 1, 2, 3 surgeries, they're handed a thing saying they're crippled and they never have to work again. This guy works as hard as anybody I've ever seen, moves around, and he's managed to get the pain out of his body with his use of cannabis, and especially now more recently with the creation of the tincture that has really cinched that and just about knocked the pain out of all of our bodies.
So, I guess from what I'd heard, out of COVID, it gave you sort of a little bit of a chance. I think you showed up in Western North Carolina just before COVID.
Yes, I did.
And can you go into maybe a little bit of, you came here to start a hemp farm for some folks?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I came out here and investors out of New York, and I built a 10,000 square feet of greenhouse and produced over 400 pounds for them. And then COVID came.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything shut down, and I just kind of stayed here because nobody decided they wanted to pay me after that. Okay.
Okay. I understand.
So I really was not. I mean, CBD to me when I first got here was like, okay, yeah, let me see. You know, does this stuff really do what it's supposed to do? And at first I was skeptic. I really was. I mean, I've been in the cannabis industry my whole life. I mean, I've been taking care of patients and growing. So I didn't really understand all the benefits until COVID came, until I had time to sit and really meditate on what it was. And then the Indian lady that went, no, you can't be doing this, Ash. You got to figure out another way. You're supposed to figure out another way. So it really got me. I'm one of those guys, when somebody tells me I need to do something, I figure it out. So with Blake, and Blake being totally different, never into the cannabis or anything, it gave us kind of like a yin and yang type thing. You know, Blake has a really high IQ, so really matched with me. So it was kind of, we figured out a way to make a tincture the old way that is healing like nobody else is healed. You know, from taking the total inflammation out of your body to pain. I wouldn't have been able to do it without Blake and his knowledge of healing on the energy side. The same way the Indian lady does, or the same way most of these people do. They know how to heal you by God touching you, and you just ask for God and they puts their hands on you and heal. Some people are blessed like that. I'm blessed to be able to use this cannabis plant to heal people in a different way that I never thought or never imagined that it could happen. All the way down to people just waking up that's been asleep for 10 or 15 years.
Wow.
So it's amazing to me.
Got it. Well, that's pretty cool, man. I'm very interested to learn more about the tincture. Maybe we'll go into that. So when you came into CBD, you sort of figured it out. What made you think? Did you had so much product sitting around that you just started playing around with, okay, what can I do with all this? I got it sitting here. I think I heard a story about
how it happened. That's where I kind of stepped in, and we had come together and realized that we had this vision of creating a healing retreat out there where we are in Candler, and we didn't know how that was going to play out. It just was. We had this very big heart connection. We immediately clicked, and we had this vision, and I was completely ignorant of cannabis and the whole, what it could do and all that. So I was day by day talking to Ashley, and he was explaining what the plant was capable of, what he'd been doing with people with cancer patients, and how, just many of the different qualities of it. I mean, some people will smoke certain sativas, and he said they, you know, it makes them feel frisky, and it stimulates libido, and they have all those kind of good effects. And he was just telling me all this, and we were talking about these THC type plants, cannabis, and his long, extensive experience with that. And then I started asking questions because he had already was like, whatever, he wasn't that sure about CBD. He wasn't that impressed at that point. And I started asking questions that says, well, if there's a sativa and an indica of this cannabis plant, I mean, there's a sativa and indica of the CBD plant, right? If we find the right strains, can we not get those same effects so that somebody could take this, they might start feeling a little frisky? I mean, some people really need that pickup of libido, that, you know, the relief of pain, all of those different effects.
I know, I like a pick up on the
Sure.
libido.
Sure, I mean, it's as people get older,
Everybody
as
does.
people get
That's when you
older,
get older.
yeah, especially with older persons. So I started asking a lot of dumb questions, possibly, but then at a certain point, maybe they weren't so dumb, and we started doing more. We started talking about experiments, and that's where I said, well, if we, and I think we came across a tincture recipe, and that just kind of clicked it off. And then we went and talked to the Cherokee medicine person, and all sorts of synchronicities started coming together to where we finally decided to do an experiment and to create these tinctures.
Got it. Wow, incredible. Well, so we can go to, I guess it's AshleySOS.com.
Yes.
AshleySOS.com, okay. And so we can discover a little bit more on there. I think I'd seen something about where you can become a member.
That's right. So it leads to this is a much simpler, because we gave our website this very long name, Ashley's Rad Herbal Remedies.com, and we eventually came up with AshleySOS.com,
Nice.
which, you know, Ashley Help. It's very simple, and you can get to our site. Now that'll explain that AshleySOS.com website will explain the gist of our tincture, and there's a link at the top there to join our membership site, because what we're essentially doing with this product is we're trying to get this, after we started to notice the many benefits that we started to realize as we took it over some time and started to share it with more people. We found that we wanted to get this in the hands of people that really need it, people with cancer, people with Alzheimer's or autism, and just various serious conditions. Now, I'm not saying that our tincture cures or heals any of these things, but we have seen that indirectly, I believe, because it's more like a nutritional supplement, that it stimulates the amazing things in the human body that can kick the cancer out or clear out whatever toxins are in your body that are causing these problems.
So it enables your body to sort of wake up?
Absolutely, that has to be what's going on with this. It's just, it helps to put your body into the most healthy state that it can be, so that it can become more healthy, or get rid of diseases, or fend off, you know, stimulate the immune system. It just balances the really the key word for all of it is hemostasis. Hemostasis is what this product creates. It's a balance throughout the systems of the body.
Interesting. And could you say that one more time?
Hemostasis.
Hemostasis. Okay. Learning something today. That's a new one for me. That's a 50-cent word there.
Well, and one of the reasons why we say that is I had a lot of numbing and whatnot through my crotch area, down one leg, from surgery that they said would never come back. 5 months on the product, I mean, I got my legs back. I mean, my feeling, it goes in and it basically just generates stem cell growth. I mean, I believe that. I mean, I've had people tell me I've split the atoms in it. Somehow we have done something that nobody else has done with the CBD product. It's just one of them things. I wouldn't be here after 49 surgeries if I didn't experiment with the cannabis plant and do that, from getting myself totally off opiates, and many people. It has so much benefits that our government has kept it from us.
Gotcha. So this tincture, it doesn't get you high. There's no effect as far as a mental euphoric or that kind of thing. It's a healing
Not
product.
at all. That was what I attested to, and because I don't get high or smoke or anything like that. So when we first tried it, I was just saying, well, this is what cannabis is. And I mean, I took it and I'm just feeling an uplift and a focus, but a natural uplift, like the best cup of coffee you ever had in your life without the jitters.
Got it.
And it lasts much longer. Our initial formula that we created with that was, we would go on these long bike rides and it just gave you you felt like you were just the best day ever, just a really good day. And so it's not an altered feeling. It's just the way your body should feel if you got enough rest and feel really focused and clear.